So speaking about securing the management plane, we're gonna go in here and speak about various protocols that we can use to secure the management plane of a specific device. And we're gonna speak in this examples about only iOS devices. The class, the CCNA, let's say from the CCNA blueprint, they only cover the iOS operating system. They don't also cover the ASA, which is quite a bit different than the iOS, for example. So securing the management plane, let's see what are the options. You want to speak first about AAA, which AAA stands for Authentication, Authorization, and Accounting. And we can use those features for either device administration, which is going to be when I'm going to connect to a router to remotely configure it, or for network access, which means in order to control users' access to the network, regardless of their access method, if it's going to be wired, wireless, or VPN. So the same AAA, let's say, functionality, the same scope of providing authentication, authorization, and accounting is going to be used for two different use cases. And as you're going to see, based on that specifics, you're going to have also two protocols with one protocol dedicated for each of those two use cases. Now, authentication, let's take it one by one. Authentication means that is a method to provide identification of who you are. And we have various options to do that. Most commonly seen is going to be based on a username and password authentication, or a certificate-based authentication, or we can of course do multi-factor authentication where we combine username and password with certificates, or we can use even a certificate and let's say two sets of users and passwords if you so choose to. But doesn't matter if you do multiple factor authentication or not. In the end, most commonly seen solutions for authentications are still username and password and certificates. Although nowadays we see a lot of various other options like fingerprints on your smartphones, or like biometric, which is the same thing, so fingerprints on the desktops. So on the desktops it has been available from a long time ago. On the smartphones it's just becoming available now to be able to log on and authenticate to the system by using your fingerprint, for example. So more and more, let's say, other options are let's say coming to life, are starting to be deployed by organizations, but still most commonly seen, we will still do username and password authentication or certificate-based authentication.